My name is Jordan Reynolds. I'm 22 years old. I'm a boxer for Team GB and Hoddesdon Boxing Academy. I have a record of 68 fights with 62 wins. I'm the current two-time national British champion, 3 times multinational champion, and yeah, from Luton Town. I've always been into like the combat sport. I started off with Thai boxing when I was about 14 or 15. Believe it or not, it was just for me because I was quite an aggressive kid. So my mother said, like, go there. I needed to lose a bit of weight as well because I was actually a chubby kid. So mother used to send me there, and I kind of liked it, but all my mates were out, and I thought, I feel like I'm missing out. I'm 14, 15 years old. Everyone's hanging out. I thought, nah, I'll leave that. So I kind of got channeled back into it through school because I was getting into a lot of trouble, and they said, look, you need to, focus and, put your anger and your frustration into something. So they sent me to a boxing class, a bit of anger management and that. And after I stepped in the gym when I was 16 years old, I've never ever turned back. I walked in there and I thought boxing was just a street fight. I walked in there and I was like, oh, I'll fight him. I jumped in the ring. I was only young. I was like 15, 16 years old. I got put over in seconds. I thought, Jesus, this is a different level. I was just trying to swing. They're all technical, and you don't really appreciate boxing if you don't know about it. And after that day, I've never left the gym ever. Well, my training routine back then, like, because I was in a lot of trouble, Graham Earl, who was like a world champion, he let me stay in the gym 4 o'clock till 8, and I'll go back home, and then I got kicked out of school, and I was doing a lot of wrong things. So he said, come and work in the gym 10 till 10 every day. I thought 10 till 10. I was in love with the boxing, so I thought, you know what, I'll do it. And I was there 10 till 10 every day for about a year or 2 years. And I started boxing for Stevenage. After boxing for Stevenage, I entered the biggest championship you can ever go in. It's the junior ABAs. And normally when you go in there, it's lads there who've had like 40, 50, 60 fights. I've had 2 fights. That's it. And I thought, God, this is straight in the deep end. So he said, go on, you got to test yourself. So I boxed for Stevenage. All I was fit and strong kid. I wasn't really technical. And I got all the way to the national finals, like number 2 in the country, all the way to the national finals. I boxed a few England kids on the way, beat them, and I boxed the world number 2 and I had a close fight with him. He beat me. And as I was boxing for Stevenage and I was looking at all these lads boxing, I see these West Ham and Repton lads, and they just stood out. There was like 10 or 12 of them in the national finals. There was class. And I just thought to myself, do you know what? I need a sacrifice here. I get down to West Ham. So I did. I said to my mum, look, I know I'm young, I'm 16, 17 years old. I want to box for West Ham. She's like, what do you mean? Don't be silly, it's too far, it's dangerous, we ain't got the money, you've got to be realistic. And I was like, listen, I want to do it. So like, I was selling all my clothes, back then like your PlayStation and all that, that's a big thing. So I was selling everything. I got a few hundred quid. My mother even, she was selling her jewellery and that, and we got a bit of money together, and I thought, you know what, I just want to go hard at it for a few months. And after being there with a few months, this West Ham gym was the best gym around. Like, Mickey May made over 120 national champions. You've got Nigel Benn, Kevin Mitchell, you've got all world champions who were there. And I remember going there the first day on a Saturday, and I walked in the gym behind the club, old East End, by myself, like black and white, everything's black and white, claret and blue all around the gym, black and white pictures, blood, spitting sawdust all around. Honestly, it's proper old school. And I knew I was in the gym, and that gym's been there for 100 years. It's crazy. So I walked in there, nervous, by myself, my bag, and he said, I was like, I'm here to want to train, I want to box for West Ham. And Mickey May, old school, about 70 years old. He's like, you want to box? I was like, yeah. He's all right. He told me to shadow box, go on the bags, and he was watching me. And I was just trying. You try even harder. It's even harder because someone's watching you, you're trying to impress. And I was just training with the young lads. It was only the young lads there. It was about the juniors, like 12, 13-year-olds. But I thought, God, this is hard. Like, and he took me on the pads. Then me and him started like bonding a bit. And then he said, oh, we're going to do a circuit. And there was all these kids, they're like 13 or 14. And they used to call them the West Ham pack. These 14-year-old kids were ripped. Like, I've never seen anything like it. They had like, I was just like looking at it thinking, what are these like animals, little animals? So we've done a massive circuit. And I thought, I come from a fit gym. Like, it was pure fitness. I just used to be, my game was fit and strong. I just keep coming and coming and coming. By the 3rd round, they'd be finished and I would just come on top. So I thought, I'm definitely fit. I've done that circuit and the kids, which were all fit, and I was a state. I was like, oh, thank you, yeah. I'll be back Monday. This is a Saturday morning. remember walking to the train station. I was knackered, I was only young. Sat down, and I just remember just going, seeing my train. I just let my train go past. I was just like, God, this is proper here. Like, and I just fell in love with it. And then after being there for about 6 months, I got entered into the British like championships, the NABCs, and I won my first British national title. And like no one's done that in years. Like when a proper title, the last person who ever done it was Billy Schwer and Graham Hill. And that's when my name started, becoming on the radar. Like, well, who's this kid just come out of nowhere? He's from Luton. He's boxing for West Ham. God, do you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people thought like I lived in West Ham, or I was old and I was driving there. I was getting a trainer every day. Honestly, I was there every single day, all right? Every single day. And I started getting a few sponsors, and then, but as I was coming back home, I was still getting into not a bit of trouble, but with your mates, and you still like, you either go that way or this way. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like your mindset's kind of drifting away. So I thought I need to kind of move. I was going to move to West Ham with I was going to move to West Ham with one of the fighters. Like stay with me. He was an older lad, and our family said, "Do you want to live with us?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Like I'm like 17, 18 at this point." I was like, "I don't know. Like my mum's my main thing. Do you know what I mean? Like don't want to leave her. But I need to do what's best for me. It's my career. I've got a good opportunity here." She said, "I'll come and look around." They've got they had a single son. You know what I mean? He was just a lone child. He said, "Come up and stay. We'll have a look around." So I went over there. It was in Essex, and I thought, God, this is a love, beautiful home it was. And I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And I stayed there for 2 years, and just grafting for them years. And it's just just pure boxing. Now I've got a little job. I've got a job there. I was working in the butchers, so I was working like 2 in the morning till 10, and I would sleep for a few hours. Then I was at West Ham for like 5 till 8 or 9. So the time I got home, I was in bed. And I'd done that for like 2 years. It all paid off because I started winning more national titles. Then I started boxing for England. Then Mickey May passed, my trainer, and it was just like, I couldn't believe it. Like it was just like an end of an era. Like I was lost. I felt lost, and a lot of people felt lost. So I got offered to turn pro with Frank Warren and a few promoters. Want to go with the Tibbses, great trainers. And I just felt like, in my head, I felt like I ain't ready. I want to go. I want to be an Olympian. I want to do it properly. These days, anyone can turn pro. Honestly, you get so many people who have 4 or 5 fights, amateur fights, and they turn pro just for the name and walk around with pro boxer. I thought, do you know what? I want to do my pedigree properly, have 200-300 amateur fights, then turn pro. So then I've done it properly, do you know what I mean? Then when I do turn pro, I'm at world level already. So I thought, do you know what? I spoke to Billy Joe Saunders, who's a world champion. I said, what gym did you come from? He's like, Hoddesdon. And I was like, oh, how old is Hoddesdon? Where's that? He's like, oh yeah, you're Luton. That's about 40 minutes. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm not going to turn pro yet. Went to Hoddesdon. By the time I was in Hoddesdon, I'd just become a senior. So the head guards come off. You've got no head guards. Had my first year as a senior. What happened? Went in the senior ABAs, got to the quarterfinals, pinging the geezer, boom. Got a massive cut over my eye, couldn't fight for the next day. So it was kind of a setback. And I thought, oh man. So I went back to the gym the next day, and I was just training. I wasn't sparring because of my cut. Then I had a few fights in Italy, and I was winning all these fights. The only fights I wasn't losing was like in the championships, like by a cut or get to the final. So then I went on again, done the senior ABAs again. I was only young. I think I was about 20 this time, and you're fighting lads who are 26, 27, 28, if not older. And then I got to the finals. And then after I got to the finals, I got a call from Team GB and said, oh, like the Olympic team, you've got a GB assessment. You've just got to the finals. We want to have a look at you. So this is where I'm thinking to myself, God, this is crazy. Like all I've been thinking all my career is that podium, that Olympic. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've been thinking. Vision. That's been my vision. So I was like, okay, when is it? And it's in 3 months. So make sure you're getting fit. Make sure you're ready. You're going to be doing runs, your strength, your sparring. You train 3 or 4 times a day. Do you know what I mean? For 3 days, that's your trial. So I was like, okay. So when you go up there, like you don't really, kind of everyone there, but you walk in the door and it's full of Olympians. Like you got Anthony Joshua, you got everyone. You had everyone there. Do you know what I mean? I think kind of like it's a bit nerve-wracking. You're like, oh God, I'm like the new kid here. So, but yeah, I've done my first assessment. There was 5 middleweights. No, there was 5 middleweights, all competing for a space. So I was like, oh man, and like sometimes like you underestimate yourself, and you're thinking, I think he might be a bit better. Then they invited me for my next trial, and I thought, oh god, I'm through to like the next bit. So I went there and I was like, where's all the middleweights? I was the last middleweight there. And I thought, this is crazy. I was like, I can't believe it. So they would look at me again. They've pushed all the other middleweights back and invited me back. So it kind of gave me a good confidence boost. And then I smashed it. I smashed that trial. It was the best I've ever performed. And then I got a call and said, you've got one more trial now. But before that trial, I boxed in the Three Nations. It's like the best in British. Like you get the best in Scotland, Wales, Ireland. And I got called up. It was like last minute, it was like 2 weeks notice. Had to box the Commonwealth champion in Scotland. He's a Commonwealth champion. It's in Scotland, and he's a 5-time Scottish champion. I thought, God, I'm gonna have to knock him out to win. Do you know what I mean? So I went over there, and I thought, he's a big, tall, long southpaw. I thought, do you know what? Like I know what I've got to do with him, and I beat him on his own turf. I couldn't believe it. I beat him on his own turf. Then a couple of weeks later, he said, all right, your final assessment's coming. So like I've done 2 good assessments, right? Then I've just got this win. He's a Commonwealth champion. He's currently on GB. I've beat him, and now I'm going into my last assessment. For my last assessment, a week later, I tore my tendon off my arm, right? And do you know what? That's probably the biggest setback I've ever had in my life. Like that's when you get tests, and that's where you've got to be mentally strong. You know what I mean? You've got to be. You know what I mean? Like it's easy being mentally strong now because everything's going well, and it's easy saying I want this and I want that, and the vision's good when everything's going right. But when it's hard, and your tendon comes off, and you've been told like, oh, your career, like you're thinking, well, your career might be finished. Then I went to NHS. I told, look, this is my career. They operated. They couldn't do it. So I'm thinking to myself, this is my career finished. Like, what's going on here? So I was still strong. I was still after the operation. 3 days later, I was still up early, doing my runs, grinding. I thought, now I'm going to be back. So I went to the private. It's ridiculous money it was. Had a few good sponsors. You know, all got together, all chipped in. Got my operation sorted. It was a fix. Got a massive scar here. Don't know if you can see that on the camera, but yeah. And then so I rang them up and I said to GB, like, I've obviously been injured. They said, all right, we'll wait for you. So I thought, okay, I've got 2 months here to get fit and like just you know, no, I had 3 months. Had 3 months. So they said, when you're ready, just let us know and you can come. So I thought, okay, I've got 3 months. You know, I've got 6 weeks not allowed to do nothing. I was just running. Then another 6 weeks light weights, and another 6 weeks of doing mobility stuff. So I had to be patient and like, even though I felt alright and I could punch, I wasn't allowed. Like, didn't want to risk it. So like, you know, I started working hard, and I was just all my faults I had back in the day, and I thought I could have worked, gave me time to work on. So I was just working on things like, and people were like, what are you doing in the gym? I was like doing all this weird stuff, and like I was ending up sparring with one hand, and I was just like, I felt like I just come up another level. Then I got a phone call from James DeGale. He's an Olympic gold medalist and he's a world champion. He said, Jordan, we need you for sparring. Can you spar? And I was like, I haven't even sparred. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can be as fit as you want. You can be, you know, but if you haven't sparred, you'll never be ring fit. It's a different fitness, all right? So he said, do you want to do 6 rounds with James DeGale? Well, no, he said 3 rounds. And I was like, do you know what? I said, when do you want it? He said, oh, it's in 3 weeks. I said, okay, do you know what? 3 weeks, that's his perfect timing for when I'm allowed to start punching. So this be a massive test for me mentally and physically. So I was like, yeah, sound. So, you know, I kept working. And then the day come, and then I sparred him, done 3 rounds. And I was just fit as a fiddle. I've never, ever felt so good in my life. And I was sparring, we was talking to each other, we was taunting each other. And he was like, whoa, whoa. There was like 4 other sparring partners. He was like, whoa, whoa. He's like, stay in for another 3. He's like, I like you, stay in for another 3. So I've done 6 rounds straight up with, you know, world champion. We're working. It's like a massive war. And then I've got back out and I've gone, geez, I haven't been in a ring for about 6 months. I've just jumped in there with a world champion Olympic medalist. Now I'm ready for my Team GB trial. This is it, man. This has got me ready. So like, I said to GB, I'm ready whenever, you know, just let me know a date. They gave me a date, went there, performed great. Next minute, 3 weeks later, I got a phone call saying you've officially made into Team GB. You just made history in Luton and Bedfordshire. It's never been done. Do you know what I mean? And I was just like, do you know what? I just couldn't believe it. Do you know what I mean? It's so overwhelming. Even there, it's just overwhelming, really. I just couldn't believe it. But then again, in my head, I'm thinking, it's still early days. I've got a long way to go. A lot of people think, now I go into the team, I've made it now, I can chill. this is where you make it proper. This is where you go to another level. This is where you make it permanent. So I mean, there's no time to chill. I've got another 3 years now to Tokyo, so this is where the hard work begins. So yeah, it's been a crazy ride, really, like mental. So the King of the Ring belt I won in 2016. It's quite a big belt over in Sweden. You get like a lot of European countries. They all go there. You like Sweden, Denmark. Everyone all go there. And they all compete. There's hundreds of boxers there, and women boxing as well. So I went over there and I thought, you know what, go over there, get some experience, international experience. This is before I got into Team GB. Just keeping busy. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I went over there and I boxed like the #1 in Sweden for my first fight on a Friday. And then on a Saturday I boxed a Romanian lad who was really dangly. I beat him. And then on a Sunday I boxed a lad from Manchester who was a good lad, and I won all 3 fights. And all 3 fights, what people think, they think, oh, 3 fights, it's hard because you're making a weight every day. So like you're fighting, you're going home, you can't eat, you're like, you know, you've got to check your weight, you think, oh, what? So you sleep, you got to weigh in again, have a little bit of food, you fight, then weigh in the next, do you know what I mean? It's hard. So it takes it out of you. So I had 3 hard fights, then I won a gold medal. So I won the gold medal, and then at the end, the whole tournament, out of 300 or 400 boxers, they have the King of the Ring, you know, who shows the most dominant, like good style, you know, who has a bit of flair, who has something about him, who's different, who's a bit humble. They've got to be an all-round champion. Do you know what I mean? So I got voted from the Swedish judges that I was the King of the Ring, and I couldn't believe it. And like I went back there while I was injured. I went to Sweden. They invited me to Sweden because I was supposed to box there again to defend my belt, but they wanted me to commentate on the Swedish boxing, so I was commentating. And it's like the love and respect I got over there is unbelievable. Like if they have all banners of my face all over the place in Boras, it's mental. And I was just like, oh yeah, it's crazy. But but it gives you a little taster of what it can be like in the future. So yeah, it's all good. Then my other belt, the English title, that's a good belt. It's England boxing. They put a belt out. I got asked to fight for it in York Hall against Dan Woolidge. And it was quite a weird one, really, because a week before that, me and Dan Woolidge sparred. Right, we've both just been the same weight, and we had a good spar. And like we said to each other, it was like, oh, do you know what? We're gonna have to fight each other one time. We'll probably meet each other in the championships. And 2 days later, I got a phone call saying, oh yeah, do you want to box Dan Woolidge for the English title? I was like, what? I said, that's weird. And yeah, so like we've just both sparred each other a week, so we both know each other. And it's probably one of the most entertaining fights I've been in, because like he kept coming. I put him down twice. He come back. He kept coming and coming. But it was good. Like it was just a great atmosphere there. Luton always back. Do you know what I mean? Like I done 100 people there, 100, 200 people there in York Hall. And then I had to defend it. I defended it in Luton, and I couldn't believe it. Like I got a venue in Luton, and we done like 600 tickets, and I was crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, that's the English title and. King of the Ring. I've got the Haringey as well. Haringey best boxer. That's a big box cup. I've won that twice in 2 different weights. That happens in Alexandra Palace. So I won that once for when I was at West Ham and for Hoddesdon as well. So yeah. All right. I just want to say to everyone watching this, especially the younger lads, the younger generation, I never come from privilege. You know, I never come from privilege. I never had it handed on the plate. It was never easy. You know, a lot of people, do you know what? When I was younger, when I was your age, I would look at other people and think, oh, they haven't been what I've been through. They haven't been this, they haven't been that. But trust me, I've been out of refuges. Me and my mother we've been homeless, and you know what I mean, we've been in situations. You know what I mean? So if I can do it, you can do it. It's all about hard work and having that vision. Do you know what I mean? Just be separate and don't go with everyone else. Be yourself, and that's a key thing. Like if you've got a vision, go for it, because life's too short, and you got to work hard, and nothing comes easy. You're gonna get little minor setbacks. You're gonna get people try to drag you down, especially family. Family can sometimes be the first people to speak you out of things. If you've got a thing in your head, wherever it is, boxing, dancing, singing, whatever it can be, yeah, go for it. Honestly, go for it and give it all, and just work hard, and you'll reap the rewards. I just want to say a massive thank you to the whole of Luton town for backing me. Do you know what I mean? It's like loyal Luton, very very loyal. Always supporting me when I'm through town, and just especially with the sponsorships as well. I've got so many people backing me. So too many to mention, but honestly, nothing but love. And I couldn't be where I am without you all. Do you know what I mean? It's great. Teamwork makes the dream work. So it's all good. And yeah. Yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to Sablio, head coach at Hoddesdon Boxing Academy. He's put a lot of work into me. So yeah, I'm very grateful. I said to him I wanted to get into Team GB, and he believed in me, and he helped me achieve my dreams. And this is just the start now. So thank you.